Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Firstly, I would like to thank for the opportunity to sharing with you. We went to Bandung, the city, and now we go to Bojonegoro. It's one village. It's another place in Indonesia, but imagine that you went to Jakarta and then Bandung is the city, and now we go to one village. As you know that Indonesia is a very wide country. We have 500 cities, we have a regency, so it's very wide. We are far from Bandung. Bandung is as the mayor present is an urban city, but now we go to the Bojonegoro with different problem, with different perspective, but we have the same intention that we are actually the same period, because we are the same state in the Indonesian transformation, Indonesian democratization, and we are actually, it's like all of us is come from outside, not from the government actually, and lecturer is come from the extractive industry, creative industry. So we have the same intention that we would like to transform our region. Like me, actually, even I was born in Bojonegoro, my regency, but I lived in Bojonegoro for 25 years. I am hijrah to Malang, and then I go back to Bojonegoro to run for candidation head of regency. Now I would like to share with you when we have the same spirit that we would like to achieve a good and clean governance. So we would like to ask first, this is for me actually, what is the meaning of good and clean government? Good and clean government, it means that we bring the government as the public problem solution, not as a part of problem. So what is the good governance? Good governance is responsive to the local and historical need and transparent and accountable. So good governance actually is only tool to share and develop happiness, public trust, and quality of life. That for me. That for me. So is it possible to make a good and clean governance happen in Bojonegoro? So Bojonegoro is only one of 500 regency. We are part of Indonesian transformation. Now we got autonomy. It means that we have our problem. We have to solve our own problem with our own capacity. That means our autonomy. Now the number of population is 1.2 million living here, and I would like to underline. See the bottom up that we have poverty history. So if you look at Google, the poverty, endemic poverty, auto with the C vendor, that actually is the study of Bojonegoro. So we are 10 years ago, we are the poorest region, poorest region in the East Java. So we have to face, this is our problem. If we would like to try to develop the regency, the first thing we have to realize about what is the challenge. The first is the poverty. So too many people need work, need education, need health, need the social security, and also you know that this is our critical problem. When I come to my office the first time, that 80% of our road damaged. So you know that this is a very critical problem. Anywhere we go, the people complain about the road. Anywhere we go. So this is our critical problem because of a sliding land. And we are prone with flood and drought. It is yearly come. So every year in December, January, February. So that is flooding come. But in after moment in August and October, so drought is calm. So drying season comes. But we have oil and gas, we have agriculture, we have forest. But as you know that in Indonesian system, forest is belong to nation. Belong to nation, not belong to Bojonegoro, Regency. But unfortunately, more than 40% our area is forest. It means that we have no access for the economic access for our people. That's the one case. That's why the people in Bojonegoro living in poor. And the secondly, we are now is produce our rice is now is a surplus 500,000 tons. But as you know that in Bojonegoro now is excess 20% of national oil reserve proven in Bojonegoro. So in the next years, if we are success to exploit, we are support exploit, Bojonegoro will become 20% of Indonesian resources oil. So actually it's very big. But we are very fortunate that it's not belong to Bojonegoro. It's belong to the nation. That's the difference between Brunei and Bojonegoro. So I have to spend a lot of money to bantu itu. So Bojonegoro is calling. So based on this, with the low quality of public service, absence of public communication, low infrastructure quality, poverty, corruption, and so it is a drought and flooding. So it's need for the solution. Solution with the limited budget. Solution with the public distrust and because of the not effective spending budget, efficiency, accountable. So we try to be how good and clean governance. This is our experience bringing Bojonegoro transformation. So what is our challenge really? Our challenge is how we build the public trust, how we increase the public service quality, how we increase the economy with the limited resources, how we try to stabilize our democracy. That you know that in the area of democracy, so many people come with self-interest with him technique. So we not collaborate it because you know that some politicians hijack other politicians and so on and so on. That very disruption aid actually for us situation. And also you know that we would like to make our people happy. So and we would like to optimize asset, social and natural resources. But as you know that the bureaucracy with the time to self-orientation, that public awareness without participation mechanism, and this is the one phenomena that the media was tend to reactive than solutive. You know that too many media, but they come not to give solution. They prefer to reactive, sometimes to condemn and so on. That's my problem. So what we have been doing now in Bojonegoro to try to transform our society, to transform our politics, to transform our government. Firstly, that we try to reconnect all stakeholders. You know that as the democratic country in the first beginning like now is too many people come with self-orientation, and we would like to reconnect because it is a problem of disconnect between the businessmen, disconnect between the government disconnect with the people, the leader disconnect with the follower, and so on and so on. So the problem of disconnect. So the first step we have to try reconnect actually, and the secondly is a transformation about the learning together with the value. As you know that in our culture, too many people believe on the gossip, not on the learning journey. So gossip, even in the Islamic teaching, we have to stay away from the gossip. But you know that it is our culture, prefer to gossip. than learning. And also we learn together for transparency and accountability. We try to solve our problem by social engagement, and also we try to leverage IT and communication. Although we are different with the Bandung. Bandung, they have many source of expertise, but you know that Bojonegoro no expertise. It is because these are villages far from the prominent university. And the sixth, this is the more important for us. How come everything? Everything must come from the good intentions. Innamal a'malu binniyat. So this is the key for us actually. So if we would like to reconnect each other, we have to come with our same intention, good intention. So it is about min aina wa ila aina wa hadful hayat. So yeah, min aina. This is the mission, our mission of life. So what we have to do? Why we have come here? What God give us this land. What we have to do? Actually, what we have to do. I got my authority, and you got your jobs, and so on. So what is the mission of this? This is intention. So it is kind of spiritual transformation. But how the transformation process? How we try to co-creating and co-connecting? Firstly, we have to listening more. You know that I'm a lecturer before. As a lecturer, prefer to talk than listen. As a da'i, prefer to talk than listen. So I prefer to talking more than listen more. But now I'm a politician as public service. So I have to listen more, try to understanding each other, and then we try to discussing, motivating, and also inspiring each other. You know that, as you know that we try to all this listen, and and then we have Friday dialogues. You know that because we are in traditional communication, you know that we have lowest education. So radio dialogue, direct dialogue is more effective for us. So we have a Friday dialogue in the 1 or 3 p.m. We have Friday dialogue directly. So every people come to the city hall and they can talk what they want to talk. Everything we can discuss and we can dialogue. So we try to find the opportunity together. We try to find solution and also the support local business. We try to encourage innovation, and this is our journey. That actually is public happiness. You know that it is the way how we try to reconnect others. You know that in the politics there are conflict, but after conflict we have to forgive others. So after listen, forgive others. You know that when I come to my office the first time, that I know that all bureaucrat staff actually is that they doesn't support me in election, because I challenge incumbent. That incumbent is all the staff is follow the incumbent. I come to outside, but I know that they are not support me. But instead of I fight them, I give them political pardon. So I try to follow God, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So I give them political pardon. You know that we have to open space for the staff and open space for the politician and for the opponent and so on, because we try to connect with others. And secondly, this is our way to learning together. Now we go to direct, then of representative, dialogic, distribute, and digital. This is a 3 done. Don't complain, don't corrupt, and don't say that's not my responsibility. Even that's not my responsibility actually. This is actually the central government responsibility. But